Welcome to the Fitness Business Podcast, your free weekly resource to make you a better fitness business leader. I'm JT, the boss of Active Management, and I'm pumped with the rest of the Active Management team to be the premier sponsor again in 2017. Doing this helps us achieve our why in business, which is to reduce the healthcare costs across the globe, so we love supporting it. Between you and us, we can get more people moving and more often. So let's get our hustle mode on. No matter where you are listening in the world, make sure you check out www.fitnessbusinesspodcast.com/active for an extra special business resource to free up time for you so that you can then do what you love. Okay, enough from me. Who's on this week's show, Chantal?
Thank you so much, JT. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another week of the show. If you've been following our social media pages, then chances are you will have seen that I've just returned from a bit of a whirlwind trip to LA to attend IHRSA 2017. I'm going to assume that by now most of you are familiar with IHRSA, but just in case anyone isn't, IHRSA is the International Health, Racquet and Sportsclub Association, and each year they hold an annual event in the US, which includes over 100 education sessions and 350 exhibitors at the trade show. So in addition to going over and attending the event, I also hit the fitness circuit with JT from Active Management, and we managed to do 13 gym visits in 7 days. It was a lot. We were looking at every aspect of the gym experience, from online sign up, front desk first impressions. We looked at classes or the workout, the instructors, the staff, the gym fit out, the marketing materials, the change rooms, the retail offerings, and also the post-workout follow-up. So there was a lot going on. So here's what you'll expect to hear on the show this week and next. So this week in show 95, I'm going to share with you some business building tips that I took away from IHRSA 2017. The topics that I'm going to cover off are networking, leadership, community, and branding. Then next week, show 96, I'll go through key learnings from a consumer point of view of the fitness studio visits that I did in LA. And they include places like SoulCycle, Barry's Boot Camp, Gold's Gym, Speed Play, Flywheel, and more. So with both shows, there will be takeaways that you can use in your own business or with your team. And I'll also be including some images and some videos along the way. So you might get some inspiration from, in week 2, what I truly, truly believe are some of the best fitness studios that I've experienced. Now, later in the show, I want you to keep listening because I'm going to be joined by fitness PR guru, Simone Richards. And we're chatting about her upcoming online summit, which is called the Audience Attraction Formula. And it teaches health, fitness, and wellness entrepreneurs how to get new clients in the next 30 days. So I thought that would be of interest to all of you. She has brought together more than 20 experts in fitness, health, wellness, marketing, social media, and PR, and interviewed them on how to attract prospective clients and convert them into sales. So make sure that you hang on because that's coming up just a little bit later in the show.
The Fitness Business Podcast is very appreciative of our podcast partners. Here's a quick word from one of our partners.
ABC Financial leads the health and fitness industry in software and payment processing solutions. If you want your business to thrive with the most advanced club management software, comprehensive payment processing, and customer service that is second to none, choose ABC Financial. Request a demo at www.abcfinancial.com. Okay, let's get stuck into it, tribe. So at the top of my list of IHRSA highlights wasn't actually a presentation, but the top of my list of the best takeaways happened with networking. I was just so blown away by the support that people in our industry gave their peers. There was just this camaraderie and a passion amongst the people that attended IHRSA that was so inspiring. And to be totally honest, it just made me feel so proud of the industry that we work in. It felt like everyone that was there was working towards a common goal, and that the big picture in everyone's mind was global health and wellness. And it was just so inspiring. There were lots of times and lots of opportunities to network throughout the event, unsurprisingly, and to meet people in, I guess, a formal setting. But the irony is that I actually think the best conversations that I had were the ones that happened in the corridors, or walking from one session to the next, or waiting for an event to start, or standing in queue for coffee. In fact, even one of them was randomly getting a plane seat allocated next to someone that gave me just invaluable business advice. And thanks for that, by the way, Greg Saar, if you're listening. So what does all of that mean to you guys? Well, what it means is that the next time that you go to an event, or you go to training, or you go to a function, my advice is to arrive early and to stay late. Don't ever be shy to introduce yourself to new people. Always ask lots of questions and make sure that you're listening to their answers. Be genuine and be grateful for the knowledge that you learn. And of course, the last step is do something with it. Follow up with the people that you meet, share what you learn to help others, and pay it forward. Next up was the presentation that I saw by Alison Flatley, and she spoke on leadership for long-term success. She described leadership traits such as confidence, living in the present, and visualizing success. She asked the question, what can you do to make yourself different and make yourself stand out? She said that leaders need to be self-aware, they should exhibit emotion, and good leaders know their strengths but also know their blind spots. Hearing her speak about leaders and influencers also reminded me of the keynote presentation that Seth Matheson gave. And that was also at IHRSA, I think it was on day one. And at the time, he asked us to think about someone in our life that had made a major impact on our life or on our career. And when I was thinking about it, for me, the people that have had the biggest impact are the ones that have been the best leaders, the ones that, listened to me personally, or coached me, or just cared. So if being a great leader or being a memorable leader is something that you want to do, then there's a few things that I suggest you check out. I know there are a million books out there, but two resources that I really suggest is one of our shows, Show 76 with Susan Fowler. She talked about crucial questions that leaders need to ask every day. And I also suggest that you grab yourself a copy of the book Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. Both of those are two really good resources that I highly recommend you check out. Okay, so next up was another presenter. It was Karen McNenny. I hope I said that right. And she spoke on community. And Karen talked about member experience. She gave examples of people attending an outdoor Tai Chi session versus working out on a treadmill in a gym. And she asked the question, well, what elements are the same in both of these scenarios? And there was obviously discussion around the room, and the most common answers, of course, were things like, the common point was people or community or social engagement. So then she asked, what is it that your club is offering that makes people willing to pay more for their experience? They can go anywhere to exercise. Outdoors is free. So why is it that they should train with you? And she talked about the relationship that has the biggest impact on member retention. And I thought this was a really interesting one. She asked us to think about, was it staff to member? Was it staff to staff? Was it manager to staff? Or was it member to member? And really what it came down to is that the relationship that has the biggest impact on member retention is member to member. So then the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what are we doing for our members in order to help them survive and thrive in their commitment to wellness? How are we helping them build member-to-member relationships? So here's a couple of the questions that she asked I encourage you to think about. She said, do you have a social area or a space where your members can sit down and have a chat? Do you have a way of introducing new members to existing ones? And one of the best examples of introducing new members to existing members was one that I heard about from JT. And it's actually in Anytime Fitness in Australia. And there's a studio, and in the middle of the studio, it has like a large picnic table. And on that table sits a game of noughts and crosses. Pretty simple, right? But obviously it encourages members to sit down together and have a bit of a chat and have a play. But apparently after every PT session, the PT and client also sit down and have a game. So how cool is that, just for a subtle way of introducing and encouraging relationships between your members and also between staff and members. I absolutely love that. So if you guys have any great ways that you encourage member-to-member or staff-to-member interaction, then let me know. Send me an email at chantal@fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. I would love to hear about what works for you. Okay, let's keep going. Next up was Nick Westergaard from Brand Driven Digital. He talked about the importance of establishing a character, a persona, and a tone that represents your brand. You know that we talk a lot about avatar in this show, and if you missed it by any chance, just go back and check out show 63 with Sean Greeley. And in this presentation, Nick suggested that we think about the traits that best describe our brand voice for our business, which I think is something really important for us to consider because that reflects and it comes out in all of the social media posts that we do. Speaking of social media posts, he also talked around content. He said that content is the single greatest tool to get your brand online, and consumers want more content, and yet 50% of businesses don't actually have a content plan. So, good time to think about it. Do you have a content plan? When it comes to content, he spoke about 3 types of people: skimmers, swimmers, and divers. And I love this analogy. Basically, skimmers might just check out a pic or check out a video that you post. The next one down, swimmers, they want more content. They maybe want a pic with some top line written information or some bullet points. And then your divers, they want detailed content. They're the ones that are going to click through and read a larger, more detailed article. One of the pieces of advice he gave around content is making sure that you're producing the right stuff. He said, think about clearing your history and your cache. I want to say cache. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And experience your website with fresh eyes, just like a prospect or a customer might do. So you're looking at it from a fresh perspective. I think it's a really great idea, and it's a great way to put yourself into your customer's shoes, and that's whether that person is a skimmer, a swimmer, or a diver. You want to make sure that you're delivering the right content to your audience. In addition to all of that, based on what he said, my advice is if you don't already have them, work on a content plan. It makes such a huge difference to forward planning and to staying on top of your workload. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you are a standalone sole trader personal trainer or if you are running a gym or a franchise or, a big box facility. It doesn't matter. A content plan is going to be your best friend. That means things like think about video, written word, images, audio, if you like. And don't forget a tip that we got from John Bellamy in show 94. He said that one of the best ways to come up with content for your website and social media pages is to think about the most common questions that your customers ask. I love that tip, and it's a really easy way to come up with content. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to make sure that you're all across is the progress in virtual fitness. I've been aware of Wexa Virtual for some time now, and you might recall Rasmus Ingerslev joined us on show 73, and we briefly spoke about virtual fitness. But going along to the IHRSA trade show and seeing the display, it was really, really great seeing that technology actually in action because I hadn't seen it in club before. In this case, the touch screen solution, it's clear, it's simple, it's easy to use, and plus the quality and the variety of the content was just second to none. So I feel as though there is a huge potential for gym owners to utilize this technology as a complementary medium to your fitness offerings. I really honestly believe it is not about replacing group fitness. It's about providing your members with group fitness type options outside your regular timetabled classes. So if you haven't checked it out, I'll make sure that I put a link in the show notes so you can go and check out Wexa Virtual. Are you ready to take control of your day-to-day management? Head to onefitstop.com for a complete platform to manage your fitness business. Now, guys, another great highlight of IHRSA was catching up with a couple of our former guests. And one of those people was Brian O'Rourke, and he first appeared on show 16. So here's a quick snippet from my catch up with Brian at IHRSA this year. Tribe, I'm feeling very blessed today because I have the opportunity to not be speaking to our guest over the phone or over Skype, but in person. Brian O'Rourke, welcome back to the Fitness Business Podcast.
Chantal, I love following you on Instagram, by the way.
You too.
And last time we talked, I was in a hotel room outside of the Gold's convention for their 50th anniversary, and that was... I guess that was a year and a half ago.
It would have been a year and a half ago because we caught up and it was show 16, so It was very early. And when you first came onto the show, you were talking about everything that you need to know about the latest technology tools and tips for fitness professionals. And we know how fast technology changes. So from show 16 to, we're now show 98, there would have been a few changes in that time. But I'm thrilled to have you back on. And really, I just wanted to catch up today to say thank you so much for, giving your time on that original show. We're at IHRSA as we record this right now. And I want to know what's been your biggest highlight over the last 3 days of IHRSA?
Well, the biggest highlight for me personally is the fact that I've been nominated and accepted the board of directors for IHRSA, which is awesome.
Congratulations. And this just happened this morning, right? This is big news.
Yeah, it is an honor.
That's wonderful.
So I'm very excited about that. But besides that, a couple of things I touch on. It wouldn't be any one thing. First is Johnny Cupcakes guy, the keynote this morning on creativity and what he's done with his bakery T-shirt shops was quite interesting, and I think a good thing to check out for your listeners, because you can go online and follow him and get the ideas. I think looking at what he's doing with T-shirts, it opens up a whole realm of possibilities for people in the business to rethink how they're doing things in creative ways.
So give us a bit more of an insight into what he talked about and for anyone that hasn't heard of Johnny Cupcakes before. So explain the T-shirt, what he's done with the T-shirts.
Sure. So he's opened a retail shop, and he has pop-up shops as well that people think, or they're kind of fashioned around being a cupcake bakery, but they don't sell cupcakes at all. And they sell all types of different T-shirts and the like. So I just think that it's really a good example of great marketing and branding and creativity around that. And I think one of his fundamental themes was, don't be scared to try stuff. And so what if you make a mistake? Keep rolling. And I just thought it was really a great keynote. The other couple of things, of course, is later today, IHRSA, with the chair of Rasmus Ingerslev, has launched an Innovation and Technology Council, which I'll sit on through the Fitness Industry Technology Council. So that's a brand new thing, which I think is awesome. And then one final takeaway is Justin and I this morning got to do a couple of fast track 20-minute prezos. So I got to catch up with him, and then I get to catch up with you. So I think that's the highlight of the whole IHRSA thing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you mention Rasmus in there, because we actually had him on the show not that long ago, and we talked all around technology. We talked about what's happening with WEXA, and which, of course, they've got a huge display here at IHRSA this year. So I think the introduction of that technology council is such a positive step for our industry, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully keeping in touch with yourself and with Rasmus and people that are involved in that, so that we can continue to keep all of our tribe up to date with what's actually happening. And I think that's a really exciting and positive move for our industry to have that. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, can't wait to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you so much for coming on, dropping by the show.
Yeah, and Maureen was happy to see you, by the way.
Yeah.
It's that interesting thing you get where you're friends and you're following on all the different social platforms, and you see them. It's like you know them, right? That's
exactly what happens. I always find that. And it's also something that is just so beautiful about meeting people in person that you are constantly seeing online or have interviewed or have talked to, and nothing replaces meeting someone in person, though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No technology replaces that.
No, it doesn't. But it certainly accelerates and it kind of enhances it in the sense that you can be away for a while and still catch up so quickly. Yeah. And also, when you come to IHRSA, the wonderful sense that you're part of a truly global industry, which is, really inspiring.
I completely agree. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. And another one of our wonderful guests, in fact, one of our top 4 downloaded guests, Bill McBride. Tribe, I have a very special opportunity today because we're not on Skype, we're not on audio, we are actually sitting at a table And I've got Bill McBride in front of me. So welcome to the show, Bill.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm very, very excited to be hanging out at IHRSA with you. And Tribe, I'm sure you've checked out his shows, but just in case you missed either of Bill's shows, you do need to go out and check them out. There was show 6 and show 57 when Bill joined us on the show. But today, I want to know what's been happening over the last couple of days. How are you enjoying IHRSA?
We're in Los Angeles at IHRSA. It's been an amazing show, catching up with people, networking. The energy here for our industry worldwide is just so exciting. You can just feel it. There's people from all over the world learning, sharing best practices, manufacturers, suppliers sharing the latest, greatest in equipment and innovations. It's just been a tremendous, tremendous event. I was really excited to hear the progress that IHRSA is making with the FIT bill, and the FIT bill is legislation in the United States that would make health club memberships and fitness programs a tax-deductible expense. And for those of you not in the U.S., our tax rates go from 28% to upwards of over 33% on income tax. So let's just say 30% as income tax rate would be reasonable. So this is a 30% discount on health club memberships for every operator in the United States. And the implications if this passes here will be a good example for other countries to look at to incent activity and fitness behavior in our facilities. So I'm really excited at how close IHRSA is getting to achieving this long-term goal of getting this legislation passed, and just so glad to be here with you and the active team.
Thank you so much, Bill. And it's actually been quite an amazing show of support from everyone in regards to getting this FIT bill sort of across the line. And I think what I've observed from coming to IHRSA for the very first time is what an incredible community that the US fitness industry have, and also everyone that has attended the last couple of days from around the world, and the support that's going behind this. So it's quite an incredible initiative.
Yeah, and it's not done yet. Part of IHRSA's campaign, I guess, this year, what they were telling us at the meeting and keynote and addresses is that we have to get out there and contact our congressmen and our senators and really advocate for this legislation to be passed. So we're optimistic, but it's not done yet.
And Tribe, we were chatting just before in regards to getting Bill back on the show because we love having him on the show, and I think we might get you back and we'll have a bit of a chat about things around HR. How does that sound to you?
That'd be great.
Processes.
I would be honored to be back on the show.
We're gonna have you back on the show. And as a matter of fact, for our Aussie listeners out there, Bill is heading to Australia for Philex this year, which is incredibly exciting. So if you are coming along to Philex, make sure that you jump on, have a look at the sessions that he is going to be doing over those couple of days, because I highly, highly recommend that you book your spot in those sessions. So Bill, thank you so much for joining us in person on the Fitness Business Podcast.
Great to be here. Great to see you live. Thank you so much.
Pre-Core Quickfire 5.
Thanks, Harper. Okay, Tribe. Well, I'm going to indulge a little bit and do the Pre-Core Quickfire 5 myself again this week. So why do I do what I do? Well, I host the podcast because I'm passionate about fitness, but most of all, I do it because I feel as though if I can share and distribute educational information to you, to fitness professionals across the globe, then hopefully I'm doing my little bit to help you in your role, which is the most important role because you're the ones that are out there changing people's lives. One piece of advice that I've received is actually from one of our former guests, Mike Bledsoe, and he said, don't start your day with emails or you might end up as someone else's priority. That has made a huge difference in my day-to-day work, and I keep it on a post-it note on my computer. It's a good reminder for me not to start the day with emails. One habit that helps me become better at what I do is list writing and highlighting. I get my little kind of daily hit of work dopamine from highlighting tasks that I complete throughout the day. One book that I'd recommend is How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age, which is Dale Carnegie and Associates. So if you've read the original, it's definitely worth grabbing this updated version. And why listen to next week's show? Well, because we are talking fitness centers, studios, boutique clubs, and big box gym experiences. There's lots of great stuff coming your way next week.
Get ready for this week's bonus segment, your extra injection of information, education, and inspiration to strengthen your fitness business.
Tribe, as you know, we like to make sure that you are up to date on all of the exciting events that are happening within the fitness industry. So it's my pleasure to be welcoming back a former guest, Lisa Simone Richards. Welcome back to the show, Lisa Simone.
Hey, Chantal, it is so nice to speak with you again.
I'm really excited to have you back on, especially to talk about this event that you've got coming up. Now, I should just remind everyone that you are the owner of Vitality PR and Communications, and you joined us back on show 58, which was a little while ago now. And today, however, you're here to talk about the Audience Attraction Formula Online Summit. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the event?
Absolutely. So I was really inspired to put something together that's going to help a lot of health, fitness, and wellness entrepreneurs get out of surviving and go into thriving mode. I know something that a lot of us struggle with as fitness entrepreneurs is getting new clients. So I put together the Audience Attraction Formula Summit as a way to teach entrepreneurs how to get new clients in the next 30 days. So what I've gone ahead and done is pull together a number of really successful health, fitness, and wellness entrepreneurs. Some of them are making 6, 7, and even 8 figures. I've also brought together some experts when it comes to visibility. So I'm talking about publicists, social media strategists, marketers, and everyone is going to be sharing their tips on exactly how to get clients in the next 30 days. Everyone will be sharing their biggest tips for success, the mistakes to avoid, and exactly what you can do right now to bring new clients into your business.
I love the sound of this summit. Now, tell everyone, what are the dates?
So the summit's going to be taking place beginning on April 3rd, and I'm going to be sharing at least 2 interviews a day running from April 3rd through April 14th. So it's going to go for about 2 weeks long.
Now, I don't need to tell you guys this, but one of the things I absolutely love about this being an online summit is, of course, just like a podcast, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can still jump online and be a part of this summit. So, Lisa Simone, who do you suggest should be taking part? Who should attend?
I agree with you that I love that anyone, anywhere can take place in this. We've had experts from Canada, experts from the States, experts from Australia, even as far as Bali participating in this. So you're going to get a really good global perspective. As far as who should be attending, this is developed specifically for health, fitness, and wellness entrepreneurs. So whether you're just starting from scratch or, you're a seasoned entrepreneur who's really looking to build that visibility, this is a summit that you need to attend.
I love it. And how do people go about registering?
So registering is very easy. All you do is go to www.audienceattractionformula.com, and there's going to be a simple opportunity for you to add in your name and email address and hit the Get Access button, and then you're instantly registered for the event. So if we hadn't mentioned this already, this is a free opportunity where I'm bringing together over 20 experts. So there's no reason not to check it out and get some amazing nuggets from people who've had great success in the industry.
We love a price point that is $0. That's always great. So, Lisa Simone, I think you've given us a great idea about the event, and I think it's something that all of our tribe should absolutely jump on and check this out. So is there anything else that you want to add today?
The one thing I would add on to that is once you register, you're going to get an email from me with all of the details on how the summit's going to unfold. And what I'm also sharing is a workbook that accompanies the summit. So there's a perfect opportunity for you to take notes. There are a few fill in the blanks, so to make sure you're engaged throughout all the interviews. And at the end, when that workbook is full, you're going to have your own personal handbook on exactly the next steps you need to take to bring new clients into your business.
Fabulous. So, Tribe, once again, this is the Audience Attraction Formula Online Summit. Lisa Simone, can you give us that website one more time, please?
Absolutely. So all you have to do to register is visit www.audienceattractionformula.com.
Excellent. And needless to say, we will also put that link in today's show notes. So, Lisa Simone, I wish you all the absolute best with this event. I think it's an absolute corker and lots of people should get along. So thank you for joining us today on the show.
Thank you so much, Chantal. And I'm so excited to help people grow their businesses.
Tribe, thank you so much for joining me for another week of the Fitness Business Podcast. Don't forget to join me next week as I review LA gym visits and tell you some of the best facilities and services in our industry. Plus, I'm going to mention a few things to make sure you avoid doing in your business. That's all for this week's show. Remember, what you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.
Great show this week that you should be suffering DOMs, delayed onset mind soreness, as you are overloaded and that's when your mind is strengthened. You and your business have been strengthened thanks to the amazing support of our premier sponsor, Active Management. Check out www.activemgmt.com.au only if you want to strengthen your business and your leadership. Don't forget all today's links and notes are found at www.fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, where you can also subscribe and never miss a show and maybe win a prize. Next week is another incredible guest with Chantal, so get ready for more Fit Bizpiration.